Okay, let's make sure that's visible. Let's make sure that's visible. And let's pretend like we're professionals. Now, of course, my audio doesn't work on my computer because for some reason my computer hates me. I don't know why computers hate me. I love computers so much. I'm so kind to them. I am so very reasonable to computers, yet they hate me anyway. Hello, chess. Oh, pure. Position 3. Wait, is the queue not empty? Oh. That's weird. Give me a second. Where's the counter? Yeah. Let me just fudge the numbers. There we go. I probably won't break anything. Whoa. Oh, sure, I'll copy you. Oh, toaster. See, here's the issue. Ugh. Ugh. This position feels terrible. I might be fine, but it feels terrible. I mean, the knight's just hanging, my guy. Okay, never mind, we're chilling. Oh, no, wait, never mind. I'm stupid. I should have taken the knight first. What am I doing? Oh, it's Chess960. Thought you actually copied someone who played F3 in normal chess. No, it's 960. I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Chess960. The problem is that Chess960 is hard. Speaking of which, where did I put my database? I don't need it now, but I want to look at it after games because I think it's a super interesting kind of viewpoint. I'll go and try that. So where did I put it? Where did I put my database? Found it. Okay, I'll pull that up in a second. Did you do the maniacal laugh? Yeah, I did. Did you not hear it? That's sad. I put my heart and soul into that laugh. I didn't hear it? Well, that's a skill issue. Well, that is a skill issue. Okay, I'm mumbling. Good start. Strong start. Strong start. I love castling long here if it'll let me. Oh, because I moved my king. Ugh. I'm gonna go here. That way I can get my knight in. Zdravo kako je? To sega sevore. Didn't hear it? It's an internet issue? Okay then. In that case. I will be merciful. So funny story, this is threatening mate in 1. Long time no see. Ugh. First? How did you get first? We got him. Poor guy. Yes, you are first, officially. I don't know how it happened, but it did. We got him, boys. King safety in Chess960 is so very bizarre. It's so very counterintuitive. Gotta go now, I'm getting in a bus. Bro came in, got first just to flex, and then left. Based. Give me a second. I think I'll just go here. Looks fine. Dobro prašanje, jas ne znam od pamet. Mislim da. But he's on the bus. Kako vodi život? Životot. Right, of course. No, malce so pritisak zaradi kolokvijumi dojdi. Brzo dojdi kolokvijumite. It's a wee bit stressful. Сега junska ispitska sesija. Pa, ki vidi to, no, jaz baram, da ne treba na ispitite. No, mislim, za eno časovite, ne znam. I may have missed too many of one of my classes because I really struggle to keep up with the scheduling and how often it changes. And so it's possible that I missed too many of one of my classes, even though I went to every one except for one that I knew was happening. It's just how things work. Getting first is not a flex. What do you mean? It's totally a flex. Getting the last redeem is? No, getting first is a flex. No. Getting first is absolutely a flex. Just bishop f6. Just playing calm chess. Being first doesn't matter if you're not last? No, I beg to differ. Okay, so far so good. So here's the plan. I want to play this, and then after takes, I feel like I might have something. I differ your begging. What? At least my logic is that I get something. Oh no, it looks like I do. Because I really... Maybe I'm really dumb and I'm going to lose, but... I kind of want to try and bait him into taking this bishop to open the g-file and go for some unsound attack. Гласаше или на избор? Па да, гласив. Така треба. Да, сгласив. Демократия. Па да. Минимум теоретски ние сме демократия, значи добре да гласи. Да се гласи. Možda. Ке видиме. Ке видиме, не знам. Тежко е да знае. Мисля Копайден? I don't know. Again, I just... I don't know. See, the thing is, I know a bit about Macedonian politics, but I don't know as much about Macedonian politics as I do about American politics. So, I'm naturally... I naturally have stronger opinions about US politics. Good afternoon. What's good? We're chilling. That was a stupid move. It might not be that stupid. I'm gonna give him this pawn just so I can get this pawn. I think it's very important. Pawn down. Well, you know, that's politics, unfortunately. I should probably translate. Not one politician is able to or will make a good state, a good country. Everyone lies. That's what he said. We're just playing some 960, which again, you wouldn't actually know this is Chess960. Which is the fun of Chess960 is it only looks like Chess960 once you've played a ton of it. Only at the beginning of the game. It then turns into normal chess. That's the idea, though. I mean, we'll see. But I'm definitely not thrilled. I'll go pick a bit number between 1 and 40. 24 and a half. In my country, we sometimes say Eshlonak, which literally translates to what is your color? And it means how are you? Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. I'm pretty good. It's so on the one hand, it's good because I have a chess tournament tomorrow. Then I'm always lucky. I always feel good to have a chess tournament. But on the other, I have exams coming up, and that's not as good. Not as good. So I'm gonna go around this way. You're ever so lucky that you didn't say 24, otherwise I'd have to use position 24. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Yeah, I'm in the same spot. I'm in the same spot, bot. So far, this could be going worse. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. So far, I mean, this is going to be a pain, but theoretically, it should be drawing. Okay, now it might not be. Yeah, I'm familiar with GeoGuessr. I like GeoGuessr. It's fun. I'm not very good at it because I'm just bad at geography in general. You know, my American half sometimes comes out. What's there to be nervous about? Exams? I feel like I said that. Can we hold this? It's 2 pawns down, but on the other hand, they're 2 doubled pawns. Chess personality quiz thingy? I actually should. I forgot to. Actually, I think I took it, but I took it and I wasn't paying attention and I got something that didn't make sense, like machine or something. Sounds fine. This should be a draw, right? Got the romantic. Ooh. Very well. I shall full send position 24. I'm okay playing 25. I'm just saying I'm curious as to why 24 is so terrible. I'm a curious guy. What do you want me to say? That okay, no, I definitely don't want to know that. Never mind. I think we're doing okay in this position. I don't think he has a way of winning. Boring? What do you mean boring? You're telling me how terrible it is. And then when I say, you know what, maybe it's not the best thing to play, you're like, boring, lame, cringe. Like, come on. You were trying to make it sound as scary as possible. Bro's about to unleash the Pharaoh's curse on you? Exactly. I'm very nervous. Pharaoh's curse, that's an old meme. After this game, I'll take the chess personality quiz, and then we'll start playing against viewers. How does that sound? I think it's reasonable. I think I hold a draw here. I might not, but I think I do. He has a way you can try for a win, I think. It shouldn't work. But on the other hand, very passive king placement for me. To be the cool, brave streamer? What are you talking about? I'm a coward. Well, yeah, but see, the historical precedent, right? Whenever it's been a terrible position, it's been like terrible, terrible. Like, you haven't given me good terrible, you've given me bad terrible, right? And so that's naturally has me a little skittish. Okay, hold on a second. Check here, obviously. If we take, then king takes, king up, king here. Looks like a draw. He could play there instead, not there. In which case he gets opposition, so that's actually pretty bad and he probably wins. In which case, after takes, king takes, we probably play king f6. And if here. And the problem is then he can just go straight down and gets opposition again. Okay, so yeah, we can't take the rook. Which means we either go here, here, or here. Here looks fine, and it's actually my top choice currently. I like this. I think this is good. My opponent's really going for it. I appreciate that. We are getting a more active king now, which is nice. Like this. More active king is only a good thing. I like this move. Just making his life difficult. Poking and prodding. Hold on a second. Can we get away with king f3? Probably not, right? Because check. Then rook here. Oh, doesn't look that bad. Oh, unless I can check king here. Like, takes. No, I want to play this now. He offered me a draw. Let's just, I want to see. I want to see. Show me the draw. It is a draw. I think it is. But I want to see it now. I want to see it now. And see, this is the risk of playing for a win in a position where you have no business playing for a win, is you might just mess something up, which I don't know if he has yet, but I would be a little nervous were I him. Now, okay, wait, here's the question. Do we go here or do we go here? If I go here, then I keep the king off this file, and so I can go this. Now, if I go this way, I allow king here. It's not that scary, though. This has to be the move, right? It's probably a draw. If he moves his rook, and I take this pawn, then it's a win for me. Here, 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 here. Piece of junk. Here. Check. Looks like a draw there. Risk it to get the biscuit. Oh, soya. Risk it to get the biscuit. This is a terrible idea, but I'm doing it anyway. So this is the idea, right? And now I get the best of both worlds. And now, king h2, g2, g1, right? This is the idea. What if you can go king h1? Now you're the one playing for the win when you have no business playing for the win. What does this look like, sucker? Does this look like a draw to you? This is a goofy looking draw. A real goofy looking draw, if I do say so myself. It'll happen, watch. Only risk is time. I have 15 seconds. I should be able to win king and rook versus king. Totally fine. This is a funny way that I found of winning king and rook endgames quicker in my experimentation with Chess960 positions. Got him. Told you I could do it. And this is why you study rook end games. Remember, when did you learn this rook trick? When I was studying Chess960 positions. Because, here's the thing. It was a while back. Actually, no, I was studying chess positions where it loops. So, like, imagine chess, but it's a cylindrical chess. So, the walls loop around to the other side, but the top and bottom of the board don't. So, the A file is next to the H file, but that's the only difference. And so I was trying to figure out if you can still checkmate, force checkmate with rook. Right? Because the typical plan of making a smaller square doesn't work because the king just walks around a circle. But there is actually a pattern. And this is the pattern pretty much. They go this way, you put the rook here, then you go back, and then you do the same thing, where you bring the rook all the way to the other side, and you just slowly shuffle them down. It's a really weird sort of thing. Now this is just normal chess stuff at this point. That was just relevant for that one move, but see, I knew he was going to go for this. Honestly, in this position, I could have pre-moved check here, right? No, because he doesn't have this yet. Mr. Enjoy, I prefer if you wouldn't just like say things about me. You could ask me, and then I'll tell you no, and then we can move on. But just saying stuff is not preferred. Because this is an illegal move, so he has to play either here or here. And if he goes here, this is mate in one. And if he goes here, then check, here, here's forced, and then mate. So I can do this, and that's a forced checkmate pre-move, regardless of what his moves are. So that's probably what I should have done, instead of waiting to try and play the king move on reaction. The moment he offered the draw is the moment I knew I was going to win. Because he would not offer a draw there unless he thought he was losing. There's no way. There is no way. There's no way. Mr. Enjoyer, I'm going to... If you just keep posting stuff, I'm going to time you out. Here's where he offered the draw. And here I knew I'm winning. Not because I'm winning. I mean, I might not be winning in this position, but... No, he does have the advantage. He just played it wrong. He absolutely had the advantage. He just completely goofed up playing this endgame. In this position, he's doing excellent for himself.
It's mind-blowing how quickly everything can change. 1 minute you're on top of the world, a second later you're being
a little earlier on here. I mean, the thing is, it's hard for him to get his king out. And that's what kind of I saw. Now, I was expecting this. Truth be told, but I guess I guess you have to go like here. And this is a draw? Really?
Nothing will ever be the same.
King e5, king e3, king f5. Really, this is a draw. Wow. He shouldn't have given you the second rank. There's nothing he could have done about it. That's not true. In this position, he was winning. He really should not have given me both of these pawns. I was expecting this here, and I was like, okay. I don't think it's good, but like, okay. It makes sense what he's trying to do here. It's a known draw, but in this position, that move is just not very good. You take, and then you get your king out. It's very important, because here's the difference, right? Here's the big critical point. In this position, if we take off both the rooks and all these pawns, and put my king here and his king there, then without this pawn it's a draw, and with this pawn it's a win. Or maybe not in that exact position since I can run up and take this pawn, but you get the idea. The doubled pawns actually let you win the king and pawn endgame because you're allowed to waste a move, which is very important. And so a lot of the tempy tricks, the stalemate tricks that work for black no longer work there. So having those doubled pawns is actually different than the normal 3-on-3 with one on the other side rook endgame. Because even this is still a winning king and pawn endgame, just these two by themselves. Right? And so knowing that, he should not have gotten rid of those. He should not have let me trade those off. He should have just been doing stuff like, I don't know, this. F4, and then you walk the king in. The computer's saying F3 is even better, which probably is. But the point is, get your king in. King activities. Super important. I'm playing with 2 pieces, he's playing with 1 piece. And now that my rook's on the second, I have full compensation. I have compensation for the pawn. He has the pawn, however, I have better pieces by a long shot, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it. And this was good, but there's not a whole lot he can do. And see, now he let my king in, which is really weird. This move I don't get. It just makes his life way more difficult. And then that move, and then now he's losing. This is where he offered the draw, because I think he figured it out. If I play this right, this was my mistake. Okay, what's the move here? King h2? Okay, but what about... Ah, doy. I was scared about this move, but this is an illegal move. Derp. Okay. Yeah. So I messed it up a little. Okay, wait, where's the, Is it news or is it in articles? Know thyself. How many moves do you typically calculate? Only one, the best move. I play with my soul. Give me 1 second. Let's make it so y'all can actually see what I'm doing. Wait, could you link this? Sure thing. Okay, now, what was I doing? Yes, let's fix this so you can actually see what I'm doing. Much better. You know, we could actually get away with, like, this. Oh, wrong button. Y'all are kind of covering the board a little bit, but it's not important for this bit. This is fine. Totally not scuffed. Okay. Okay, G takes or bishop takes? My heart tells me bishop takes. I have not... Have I broken anything? I mean, I don't get mad, but... I've banged my table once. Do we count that? Actually, I banged my table twice. Do we count that? I think I've broken a pen. No, we don't count that? See, the thing is, I get emotional after games, but I'm just not violent. I curb my violent impulses. Because I don't just move on to the next game. I'm not that good. Okay. You choose stoic? It's not stoic. I get completely messed up. I get destroyed on the inside. And I lose the next 10 games in a row. The point is, I just don't break anything. It's not stoicism. See, the thing is, in this position, queen d2, after cx d4, cx d4, like knight c6, or like a rook d8, I don't feel any advantage. And I actually don't like my pawn structure because the 2-on-1 is better in the endgame. And so, for me, it feels bad to go into an endgame where I know that my opponent's going to have the better pawn structure. And I'm trying to compensate with, like, center, which is fine, but I also don't love my bishops. So I just don't like the way the endgame looks. And so, while I don't like the way either one of these looks. This position, I wouldn't want to play this. But... I'd sacrifice the pawn for activity. I don't like any of it, but I feel like the activity is at least something. Okay, it's 1 a.m. on Friday and your opponent just flagged you in a completely losing position. What do you do? Well, we've seen this before. On stream, I always keep going and then lose a bajillion games. Well, you can't. You have to make sure you keep calm when your opponent talks trash. That's the only way to win. You can take a free piece, or you think you can force checkmate, but it's complicated. Well, it depends on the time control. See, I want to say take the free piece, of course, but I know in practice, I always try to find the checkmate and I run out of time. So I guess the time control doesn't matter. Knight takes f7. I mean, am I stupid? Just like knight takes f7, king takes f7, queen h5 check, king g8, or even g6, and I take his knight, I'm up a pawn. Oh, I've already sacked a pawn. Oh, okay, hold on a second. So just getting my pawn back. Well, then I don't really have any other option. I mean, it must be good. Who cares if they can thwart my attack? The problem is I will always be able to turn it into something else. It must be good. Infinite opening knowledge, I would rather have. King safety. I only play openings I've carefully studied. Unless I feel like my opponent knows. See, when I'm at my best, I play with intuition. Rapid, I hate bullet with all my heart. My opponent play king e2, how do you feel? So disrespectful. Think they could beat me with this garbage, I'm going to crush them. Or I should be bad. It should be bad to move the king in the opening. I feel good about my chances. Where's the option 3, play king e7, because you're not a coward? Exactly, thank you. Thank you. Come on. What even am I supposed to answer here? I mean, maybe it's asking... Okay, I'm going to assume it's asking about, like, a tournament... Like, a tournament classical game. If like, I'm going against a player who's by ELO stronger than I am in classical, and they do this. That's what I'm going to assume. Okay? That doesn't work either, because then my option is get stressed. Hello, Norwegian. Yeah, this would have to be in tournament, but even in tournament, I would just get stressed. So I guess that would be the top one, because I get emotional about it. I'm not stone-faced. I'm same here, Norwegian. Except it's not on Monday, it's on Wednesday. And it's not math, it's Russian. Position where you play knight first, knight f3 or f4. I want to play f4. I like the Vienna style stuff, and this transposes into a line in the Vienna, which I think is good for white. This isn't a Vienna, but you can transpose. It looks, actually it could be a Vienna. Looks like the Vienna. Either way, I like f4 in these positions. It's always risky because if they manage to get a knight to this square easy, so like f4, d6, you kind of have to play like h3. But even then, I don't mind those positions. I'd rather prefer a brilliant move. It's not hard. It's just more fun. So the rule for the bishop sack is not being able to control the diagonal and not being able to control f6. Technically, we don't have control over f6, which is what makes this tricky. I'm also a Dutch player. So this is a non-standard position where it doesn't quite follow the rules either way. Mother has been taking... Pardon? Are you saying your mom has been out on strike with her union today? Because the way you put it made it sound like she was assassinated. In which case, I'm so sorry, but I feel like that's not what you're saying. Do you mean onion? Yes, of course I mean onion. Why would I mean onion? See, no piece can get to f6. And I have a rook lift afterwards, so I really want to play bishop takes h7 here. However, in any rational game, I would actually just move and prepare my attack. Yeah, I'm nervous. It's not even close. I'd rather play survival. I hate 3-minute. I usually run a game review. I'm an artist. What does this mean? Okay, wait, I'm an artist. I should be offended. I don't think I'm offended. Artists have a great love of aesthetics and craftsmanship in chess. They rarely calculate lines to the end, preferring to let their intuition lead them to finding the moves that serve the needs of the position. Artists may not be very ordered students of the game, but they do love to study amazing games and combinations and have a wide knowledge of lovely patterns and ideas. Artists are particularly emotional and can experience waves of both ecstasy and despair as chess giveth and chess taketh away. Well, I should be. I'm not, but I should be. It's fitting, which is why I can't be offended. Because, like, I can't think of any things that apply better. Like, mad scientist, maybe? But even then, what is a mad scientist? They're... Okay, so it's the same thing, except they calculate more than... No, not mad scientists. That one calculate. Calculating's for nerds. What is the grappler? There's no... Wait, there's a grappler? Calculation, positional, emotional, playful. Weird. Trash talking while taking queens. Okay, so a positional trash talker. No, the union has decided they're going to go on a strike today, and my mother has been affected by it, so no work for her for the next few days because the workers union hasn't agreed with the state and employer union on the wages. Okay, so she's been made not to work because of her union. That makes sense. Trompowski or Budapest? I should be offended, but I think it's right. I mean, there are far worse fates in chess than being compared to Judith Polgar. You know, far worse fates. Professor. More like the nerd, am I right, fellas? Intuition, positional, calm, studious. Ah. The Vichy. Oh, very cultured nerd. One of the billion things that happens in Maine, Norway is the big tariff negotiations, and I've been invested in it, you know? Of course. Yeah, so you got the nerd. You got it. Don't pretend you're not jealous that I'm the nerd and you're not. What? Why would I want to be a nerd when I could be the artist? Chess is beautiful. Just looking into these. The caveman. That's a compliment, I'm sure. The magician. And yeah, the Mikhail Tal, pretty much. Every one of these chess personality quizzes has to have the Mikhail Tal. You have to. The Mikhail Tal. You have to. You just have to. The magician. Everyone has to have it. Which is calculation, attacking, emotional, studious. What? How is the magician calculation? Wouldn't that be Intuitive? Hey, Squeezy, thank you very much for the sub. Really appreciate it. Wait. How is the magician calculating? Hello, kind human. Excuse you, I'm a blobfish. Take back your sub. Okay, no, never mind. Don't take back your sub. Don't IRL magicians have to calculate everything? Yeah, but we're not talking about IRL magicians. We're talking about Mikhail Tal. I guess you could argue that it's more calculating than his intuition. Okay, so, okay, fair enough. The romantic would be the intuition, right? Yeah. Does Tal calculate? Yeah, probably. Wild card. Okay. Okay, so the wild card is basically you don't fit in any of the other categories, so we got the catch-all. Gotcha. The machine. Right. Swindler. Yeah, intuition, attacking, calm, playful. Got the swindler, which is honestly so real. That is very real, God. Hello. No. Yeah, no, you're absolutely a swindler. There's no question. Assassin. Swindler's very funny. Imagine you being told your chess personality is being bad at chess, except your opponent's worse. It literally has blunders on his actual thing. Saw that and literally thought of this crazy swindle I got the other day, but unironically. How can you get an ironic swindle? I'm an artist. Which honestly, this should be Buddhist, because that's not Buddhist. I'm a chess theist. I believe in chess God. There are sins in chess. The only swindles I'm genuinely capable of consistently doing is knowing more endgame theory. Got the professor. Okay, so you got the nerd too. I'm happy the romantic. I got polymorphy. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. I'm bad at chess. Also, you secretly wins every time without trying. What, you talking about? Who, me? Nah, fake. I literally have max studious. Yeah, so you have max nerd. You maxed out. You min-maxed for nerd, which is impressive in chess. Standing out as a nerd is like standing out as a nerd amongst nerds. Okay, give me a second. I want to see this. Alka is a hater of smart people? Yeah. Did I have? Okay, give me a second. Okay, we'll go to the... Oh yeah, this is pretty bad. Bishop B3 check. Let's go, gamers. Oh, that's even nicer. I was thinking this directly, but queen takes d2 is pretty. Chessboard is extremely zoomed in. Oh yeah, that's because I'm not in my normal interface, because I switched for the actual, for the chess personality thing. This is a swindle. And he resigned here. That's so funny. That's so funny. Again, I can't be offended by my result because I literally just did that. I literally just did the artist. The patterns and ideas. I was bragging about how I know this rook pattern that I found when I was experimenting with like wall-less chess. He was trash talking as well, which is the best part. I love it when that happens. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't beat trash talking by trash talking. You just don't. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You beat trash talking by winning. Hello, Posu. His light squared bishop's pretty misplaced. I was recommended Rui Lopez and Naidorf Sicilian. Huh, that seems like two simple and easy openings that I can learn in a day or so, you know? Yeah, well, if you get nerd, then you should min-max for openings that benefit from nerds being nerds. Which is Naidorf and Rui. I mean, that's kind of what they're known for. Is being this insanely daunting, like crazy difficult openings. You know? One nerd calling another nerd. Excuse you, I'm not a nerd, I'm an artist. Excuse you. You clearly didn't see the results page. Ignore the stinking the Pokemon playthrough I'm going through right now. I swear, it's unrelated. The Pokemon difficulty mod. I'm an artist. That's what I said. Or you emphasize the fact that I said a artist. Did I say a artist? I have no idea. From now on, you're Picasso. Why do I have to be Picasso? Picasso's paintings are boring. What's this? A grammatical error? Yeah, probably. I'm an artist? Well, maybe. But I would probably argue that when I said I'm an artist, I said I'm an artist, which is also grammatically incorrect. But it's more slang. I'm artist. I'm a artist. I didn't really emphasize the difference between the two words. I'm artist. Also, you're the one who said that your mom's union assassinated her, okay? And also used the wrong verb tense for your mom in that context. You said my mom have. Have is plural. So, those in glass houses. What do you mean bait? That actually happened. That actually happened. Do I need to repost the message? Give me a second. What do you mean bait? I'm not joking about his mom dying. His mom didn't die. He just said that his mom died. Yeah, but when I do it, then I simply change the grammatical rules of English. It's called being built different. You might be built different, but that's basic nowadays. I'm assembled alternatively, okay? Mine alliterates. So make like a train and choo-choo on that. I might have made the grammatical mistake he corrected me on. I'm not gonna pretend. There's a very good chance that I did make that grammatical error. I don't know. I wasn't paying full attention, truth be told. I'm just saying. Alliteration is dumb. Checkmate. Okay, that's a lie. It's really fun. Actually, I know. That's what I'm saying. Alliteration's the best. So far, so good. I'm actually going to go G3, not G4, because I think G4 is a weakness. What is this game mode? It's Chess960 or Fisher Random or Freestyle Chess. It's got a lot of different names, and there's like a political reason behind all of them. But long story short, it's chess, but the pieces on the back rank have a random order. But it's mirrored for both sides. So the pieces on the back rank have a random order, but we both have the same random order. And the idea is that it removes opening theory because there are too many starting positions for anyone to reasonably study the opening theory. Hello, Fando. I know, right? It's ridiculous. That's what Saturday nights are for. I'm doing very good, Rexplorer. I'm in complete denial about my exams, which is the best way to be. It's good stuff. Monsieur, man. This is true. That is alliteration. Found a rap album I actually like. What, is it something pretentious like the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill? If you were gonna like a rap album, that would be the one I would guess. It's because Fisher wanted the creative element to stay in chess rather than a bunch of people memorizing. Yes, that is true. And to be fair, it's actually a pretty good solution. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I've been playing it more, and the more I play it, the more I like it as a format. So I'm guessing castles is not possible here. Actually, it is. So castling rules in Fisher Random are a little weird. I'll give you the skinny. So what happens is, in the starting position, the king is always between the two rooks, 100% of the time. Any position where the king is not between the two rooks are thrown out, and you only use the ones where he's between the two rooks. And so whenever you castle, your king teleports to wherever he would normally castle in normal chess for that king and rook for that king and rook placement. So like, I'll give you an example in one moment. So I'm going to take this and play e5, and then I'm going to castle. So I'll show you. Busy buzzing? Wouldn't it be busily buzzing? I think it's busily buzzing. Anyway, busily buzzing, the bee behaved beautifully. This is an example of alliteration I had in my English class 2 years ago, and it kind of just stuck in my head. That is, in fact, an example of alliteration. True. Correct. It's Dog Eat Dog Food World. Came out 2 days ago, and it's some British guy. Well, see, that's a surefire way for you to like an album. It needs to be some British guy. So, okay, I don't really want to castle here, though. I'm trying to find a way to give you an example, but I don't want to castle in any of these positions. Also, I'm completely destroying this guy. I love Fisher Random. But he isn't the British guy. Also, yeah, talk to me. The one British guy. The true Brit. Skippity tour. I'm trying to wait. My brain won't do that. Hold on, just give me a second. I have to rewire some stuff. I can't. Give me a second. My brain won't. I need to listen to Eleanor Rigby. That's hard to conceptualize. I'm really trying to. Okay, give me a sec. I'm really trying. Sometimes I cook, and you shouldn't be allowed to cook. Get out of the kitchen and never come back. Skibbity toilet. Oh, I hate that so much. Oh, I hate that so much. Oh, I hate that a lot. I hate that a lot. Why? Why? Why would you do that? Like, you were so caught up with if you could, you never stopped to think if you should. I'll help you. You shouldn't. Pro tip. I really wish I could have showed you castling rules. I will in just a second, but I'm busy checkmating them. Look at this. This is why I love Chess960. You get such interesting abilities to just really take advantage of the positional dynamics. Now, given, I probably could have taken that pawn way earlier. Okay. So I think check first. Then we take the queen. Then I think we could pop the knight in here. This is kind of a nasty square for it. Or we can just take his knight. Should all be given to Kosovo. Well, that definitely is a unique solution. I'll give you that. I would not have thought of it. I'll give you that. But I'm not giving you anything else. What, you're just really full of, I'm not going to call them good ideas. You're really full of ideas today, aren't you, Rexport? You really did some brainstorming. You're absolutely cooking. You need to stop cooking. You're going to burn down the entire kitchen. What cooking show are we on? Should I give you your, like, jacket or something? What do they do in Iron Chef when we kick people off? It's been a while since I've seen Iron Chef. Knob. Oh no, I'm in check. Piece of junk. Shows Hell's Kitchen. Well, I know about Hell's Kitchen being the jacket. I was just trying to reference another cooking show. On top of Hell's Kitchen. I know, Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay. I'm familiar with that one. I'm just trying to diversify my references. Ah, he didn't let me checkmate him. Cringe. I love cooking shows. Of course I know what Hell's Kitchen is. Now, I don't think I've watched Hell's Kitchen proper. I've always been more of a Cutthroat Kitchen or a Good Eats kind of guy. Although I do not mind an Iron Chef from now and then, from time to time. You know? Give me that. I almost feel bad for my opponent. But not quite. I like Master Chef until they start to focus on the personal drawing way too much. Based. Based and true. That happens a lot. It's like, okay, I'm watching a cooking show. I want to see them cook. Let them cook. I'm not here to watch someone have a midlife crisis. I want to see somebody burn down the kitchen. Literally let them cook. Now, it's probably more of an editing issue than anything else, but, you know. It's one of those things. It's like adding sugar to a recipe, where you can kind of boil the frog when it comes to adding sugar and end up with something completely inedible at the end. Right? Bishop c3 is a little optimistic. See, neither one of us even played this correctly. Okay, so if the person who was asking me about castling rules is still here, like, you would castle this way, and boom. You end up on the same squares you normally do when you castle. I don't care if Tim and Joe hate each other. Let them cook. True. Nah, peak cooking show was in Cutthroat Kitchen when the guy stole all the bread. That was genius. The show's creators probably banned that right afterwards, like behind the scenes. And so, like, another example. If, let's say, this happens, I can now castle this way, and my king moves one square, and my rook teleports. Excuse me? So, okay, so are you familiar with Cutthroat Kitchen, the cooking show? He won, by the way. Anyway. Nope. Okay, so, in Cutthroat Kitchen, there's a lot of gimmicks, but one of the primary gimmicks is you start the cooking thing by having a time limit and running into the kitchen and grabbing a bunch of ingredients, right? For whatever it is you have to cook. Standard cooking show affair, you know, like letting them loose with a basket, right? Cutthroat's Kitchen's secondary gimmick is that you can spend your prize money to sabotage other players. That's Cutthroat Kitchen's main gimmick. Is so, yes, you can sabotage other players, but you're literally spending the money that you'll win if you win. It's a cool dynamic. Anyway. And it's Elton Brown, which is like one of my favorite cooking show hosts. So I like it a lot, but that's beside the point. So one of the guys, at one point they had one which is, I think it was a panini or something. So it was like some form of sandwich, right? Was the mission. And so one guy went into the kitchen, went straight for the bread section, and took all of the bread off the shelf. And got like barely any other ingredients, but stuffed his basket with bread so there was none left. For the sandwich part. It's insanely based, and it worked. And you have to imagine that behind the scenes, the producers made that against the rules immediately. Because no one ever did it again. Including him, when he came back for the special season where it was a bunch of winners. He didn't do it again. So you have to imagine that behind the scenes, the producer was like, yeah, don't do that. But he was playing chess and they were playing checkers, literally. But he did it and it worked. It's still my favorite moment in the show. It's like season 3 or something. Because you see him, you do it, and he goes to the question, he's like, I'm taking all the bread. And because the gimmick of the show is evil, is the show being evil, the host, Elton Brown, was like, you know what? I'll allow it. And so she was the only one who had any decent bread for the entire sandwich episode. It was so great. It was genius. He cooked. He absolutely cooked. It was fantastic. It was the outplay of the century. Look at this, just complete dissection. This is why positional chess is hard. You play a few bad moves in a row and suddenly you're just completely stuck. Go to sleep in like 10 minutes, but let me complain for a second. Absolutely. The show seems cooked itself. Oh no, that's the gimmick. The show's point is it's like reality TV meets a cooking show, but there's a lot of cooking, and I like it because the sabotages are always just making the cooking harder. Usually doesn't make it impossible. So like you're given a different ingredient than you should. So like at one point it was a chicken cordon bleu, and one player had their paid to have another player's chicken swapped with like chicken nuggets or something. No, stuff like that. So Slovenia is saying we'll recognize Palestine. The problem is that the official recognition is after the EU elections. Right. So is it... Okay, I'm going to wait for you to finish. I think they won't do it because they're cowards and they're trying to get some brownie points for the elections. Oh. So it's a play. It's a ploy. Yeah, I'd be shocked if they did as well. Because the problem is that politically, most of the West seems to be slightly more pro-Israel. And so it's going to be difficult to get away with that in somewhere like the EU. Right. I mean, we'll see, right? But yeah, it seems like it's a play to kind of, like you said, get brownie points. That seems like an accurate representation. Oh, come on. Like, that's going to help. Because that's always the best idea, right? Violence totally helps. I'll feel better. Never mind. You're fair enough. I respect it. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Anyway. Is Toaster still here? They should be, right? Yeah, Toaster's still here. Yeah. So, see, be like me. My expectations are so low for anything politically related that if they, like, don't say something stupid enough to start World War V, then I'm just celebrating. How can you tell that I'm still here? I have a little thing that lists the users in chat. It doesn't update super frequently, and so it's not a bajillion% accurate, but it's a nice thing to kind of just keep track of. I just think it's so cowardly. It absolutely is. I completely agree with you. It's scummy. It's beyond cowardly, it's scummy. Cowardly would just be not saying anything. Saying something just to be able to take it back once you actually have to implement it is a step beyond cowardly. I completely agree. So you said position 24? If you wanna. I mean, I'm scared. I know 24 is the bad one, and I said 25, but you want to do 24 because you want to see me suffer. You said 24.5? Okay, so that should be rounded up, technically. I could accept cowardly, but if they actually won't do it, there's a little faith I have in politics. Yeah, again, cowardly is different. I don't like cowardly either, but like, that would be a step worse than cowardly. We were waiting because the time isn't right. It's tough. That part I just don't know. I don't know enough about the economics of the conflict to know what time would be right. But it's hard. It's really hard to look at what's happening there and say, oh yes, of course, the time is right. It really sounds heartless. Whoa. Okay. Oh, game aborted. I'm so sorry. Look, have fun. You too. I was spending some time thinking. I was trying to comprehend the position. Yeah, that's a pretty good time. I like that. That's a good way of going about that. Are you bored on purpose? No. I was just trying to think about the position because I really wasn't sure. See you, Rexplore. Yeah, I should be here on Monday. We'll see, right? But I expect to be here on Monday. Yeah, I don't know if I want to know. I think I'm okay not knowing. What is this? Art. High art. Modern art. I actually really like my position. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel better in this position. Rooks are very, very strong, so being able to free my rooks to me is a huge advantage. No, I don't mean I like it as in I like the position in general. I mean I like my position as it's turning out currently. Fisher did not die for this. Fisher is Fisher. I have no idea. Posu, I really, really don't know. I'm just trying to not make myself look that dumb. That's my only objective here, is to only look a little bit stupid. It looks impossible. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting position, with a lot of interesting chess happening. I don't know what my plan is. Up until this point, my plan has just been activate my pieces, right? Because my thought process is that normal chess principles apply, in so much as you're trying to make your pieces better and your opponent's pieces worse. Okay, here's where I could decide. I guess I just go here. There's no reason to rush. I do think I'm better, though. Even just materially, it looks like I'm winning some material by force. How true that is remains to be seen, but... Okay. That's a pretty clever move. It's pretty clever. I mean, so far so good. We haven't lost yet, and I'm more active than I was. Okay. Bishop pair acquired. I know what my next move is. If they let me play it. I'm cooking. See, our good friend Lib forgets that I'm gaming. He forgets that I'm gaming. Alco Gaming. What the heck is that move? That looks terrible. I spiritually disagree with that. I'm definitely way better. I don't know if I'm winning, but I'm significantly better in this position. At the very least. This is fantastic. Because now we have like e4, bishop b3. Our rooks are better placed. It's opposite color bishop. That's the only kind of problem I have. Is it is opposite color bishop. So that will make it a little bit dubious to win. However, I'm already up one pawn. And my much better rook placement makes me feel like I'm going to be up more. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to all of the pawns in a satisfactory way. Okay. Sure. Pardon me. This is a check, but I don't think it's a scary check. At least I'm not scared of it. And if he doesn't play it right now, I play e4 next move. And he never plays it. So he has to play e4 check right now if he ever wants to play it. That's why I'm okay with this. So I'm like, okay. Aye, tough guy. He's still got nothing. You've still got nothing. You've still got nothing. Any more bright ideas? Wonderful. Now I'm up in exchange. I'll be taking that. Nice. He's cooked? Very. Let's see if Stockfish has a stroke when trying to analyze this. It's definitely not enjoying it. How did I do, Toaster? You did meh? What do you mean I did meh? Excuse you. Seen better by others who played this? Well, yeah, I'm not the best in the world, but... I've played rational principled chess. And I'm already basically winning. Look at this. It's +3. I wasn't really expecting him to take this. I guess rook a6 and kind of locked out of the game. It's telling me to play e takes f. Gosh. It was like 26, 27 degrees when I biked to work today. Yuck. It's actually been, the weather's been really nice here. It's been a little warm for my taste, but... No, I didn't play the best opening, but I played a plan that made sense. I mean, e4 is probably better, of course. Something in the center. But I was just trying to get my rooks out. Again, a bad plan is better than no plan. And I came up with a mediocre plan. Wasn't a bad plan. For us, I could reach 44 in the shader on the end of July. I would die. I would, like, crumple in on myself and die. I would implode. There would be nothing of me left. Actually, we had that sort of temperature here 2 years back. Let me see if I just remember this right. I'm pretty sure we had 44 here one year. It was for like a week, but... Send me a challenge. You got it. Well, it's just Bot Gaming 00, right? No. Bot Gaming 001, was it? There's a few Bot Gamings on the website. I forget which one is yours. Oh, it's not even Bot Gaming. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. Actually, don't ignore me. That would be bad for my viewership. Don't ignore me, but, like, ignore me, right? Okay. Oh. This is really bad. If I remember anything about my Chess960 database, this is the exact type of position that's terrible for black. I'm serious. I'm trying to just not lose this early. Can we please figure something out? What do you think of this position? Let me look at this. Uh-huh. Yes, of course. This is one of those goofy positions where it's like, oh, herder, it was checkmating 2 the whole time. You should try analyzing it. No, I'm telling you, this is one of those gimmick positions where it's actually just checkmating 2 or something. Bro, I'm not built for this. No, this position's fantastic for white. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Hey, you can give me a second. It's white to move, I'm assuming. There's just so much going on. How do you even begin to analyze that? Maybe like e takes d6. That looks like a decent move to me. There's just so much hanging. That's what's so hard about it. There's so much hanging that it becomes really difficult to like visualize anything. How do I do this? How do you... for context, this is what I'm looking at. Yeah. Yeah. The more I look at it, the worse it gets. Doctors used to be able to tell me the best moves in these sorts of positions, but now it implodes. I don't even know, man. Can you not try and checkmate me, please? That's just rude. Honestly, these people, they don't have manners. No manners. Didn't you just castle the safety? No, because there is no safety. He's double attacking this pawn. If I castle, then he plays bishop takes. It's not safety. The difference is he didn't open my bishop. I'm playing a bit provocatively, and so I'm giving myself more weaknesses because I think I have good chances in the ensuing scramble. I'm playing very provocatively. Give me a second. You know what I can do? Something like this. I like this. I think we're doing okay. Very hard to visualize. Very hard to visualize. I mean, I could just do this and try to bring the queen to f6. I really like my position all of a sudden. I think I've sacked a pawn, yes, but I think his king is significantly weaker than mine. And this rook being on the b file is actually fantastic. Because look at this file. First off, I'm threatening to win two pieces for the rook, right? However, on top of that, even if he moves the knight, now I've got this incredibly active rook on the b file. But see, even something like that, which looks good, right? I might be able to just like play e5 and sack the knight. Or something like this and sack. The thing is, I kind of want to keep his king right where it is, because if it stays where it is, then he can't get a rook to this file yet. And so I really want to play like e5, then after takes, queen takes. And get something Chess960 going. I'm doing it. Life's too short to not play unsound sacrifices. Life's too short to not play moves like this. Because now what do you do here as white? This looks terrible. And now the point is this. And now the knight's hanging. I'm threatening mate. This is weak. And yeah, the knight's hanging, so I just take here. And now I'm doubled on the B file. And the position's falling apart. The bishop can come into c3. It's all falling apart. It's all crumbling down. But pull the swindle off? Hey, we take those. Okay, let me see that. Let me see. Yeah, no, I'm done. I've seen enough. What's material look like? An exchange and a piece. There's nothing you can do. I can take this at any point. I can just wait. There's no reason to take this. I can take this right now, or I can take this at any time, because he doesn't have any moves. His bishops are stuck. I just want another position. Again, Chess960 is hard. It really is. You know the hopped-in attack? Isn't that bishop g5 move too? Bro, what was this? Chess960. Fisher random. Okay, this position, this starting position though, real talk. Real talk. Dude, e6 against the bird if they play g4. They fall for it. Genius. Here we go. I'm searching the position. Give me just a second. Command F. So this is knight, knight, rook, king, rook, queen, bishop, bishop. This is position 332. And yeah, huge advantage to white in this position. I knew it, man. I know these positions just looking at them now. This is a plus 0.44. And the engine just doesn't lose these positions. I'm telling you, this is a fantastic starting position for white. Most popular starting move for white by far is g2, g3. By far. Yeah, but here's the thing, bot. I challenged you. Yeah. I'll accept it in just a moment. I'm analyzing this game first. Thing is, you play here, and yes, you're getting attacked too, but your attack is always faster. I have to react. If you have a database with all the Chess960 positions, then that defeats the purpose of the Chess960. No, it doesn't. No. You misunderstand. I'm not memorizing anything. I can't memorize stuff. There's too much. I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for patterns because I think it's interesting. It's like studying endgames. I can't memorize all endgames, but I look for patterns. I'm doing the same with 960. I'm trying to figure out what patterns exist so I can get a better intuitive understanding. And also, I want to show like different data and I'm doing it for just a big data analysis thing as well, for fun. Like, for example, I now know that for computers, the starting evaluation makes a massive difference, but for humans, it makes very little difference. Hey, dude, can I ask you something really important? I'm not sure if you know. I mean, you can try. I can't guarantee I'll answer, but I'll do my darndest. But no, this is a very good starting position for light. Also, extremely low draw chance, which makes sense because there's so many weak squares at the start of the game. Computer's actually saying c4 is better. There's a 2600 who just made an account. I did not make it, and I'm not related in any way. And it's pre-moving fool's mates. Uh-huh. Nice. You're a data analyst? No, but I dabble. It's a hobby. Am I allowed to farm, or would I get banned? I mean... So... I don't know if you'll get banned, but I know from the outside looking in, it would look really suspicious, right? Like, I believe you that you don't have any relation, but if you're the chess.com, what's it called? The chess.com fair play team, and you see that, are you going to think that there's no relation? You know what I mean? Additionally, it's not really honest elo, so I wouldn't. Yo, Joy Dog's taken care of? Yeah. I did that at like 3 p.m. I told you I would. So I wouldn't. If he was just premium Fool's Mate as a 2600, I would probably report him for sandbagging. I'm not sure if I'll go that far, but it is sandbagging. No problem whatsoever. Thank you, thank you. Wait, what is sandbagging? Sandbagging is when you're at a higher strength or elo, and you purposely lose elo to play against the weaker player so you can beat him up. And so you sandbag by just letting yourself lose a bunch of times to shed elo unfairly. Is sandbagging a real reporting thing? I mean, it should be. I'd be shocked if it weren't. Like if I... Sandbagging, right here. Fair play, sandbagging. It's against the rules. That's not what he was doing. He made that account 30 minutes ago. Then it's even worse. I mean, that, like... Why would you make an account at 2600 just to dump elo? Like, farming for elo, even if it wasn't illegal, makes no sense at the end of the day. It's just a number. You will lose it as soon as you play actual people. Absolutely. What's the saying? When a measure becomes a goal, it ceases to become a useful measurement. That's it, right? When a measurement becomes an objective, it ceases to be a useful measurement. That's the saying. And so by making elo the goal of your chess instead of a measure of your chess, you end up making elo suddenly meaningless. Now, that's a philosophical point, and I wouldn't say it's directly related to what you asked, but that is my opinion. I agree with Bot. But yeah, I wouldn't. It's when a metric becomes the objective. I was close, okay? I was really close. I said measurement. Measurement and metric are very... come on. Come on, you gotta give me that one. When a metric becomes an objective, it ceases to be a useful metric. Study your philosophical quotes. Okay, I'm sorry that I don't memorize exact wording, okay? I got the idea, and I communicated the idea in a relevant context. I think that's enough, okay? I'm working on it. Gosh. Some people. Question, why does your viewer count fluctuate so much? Chess.com embeds. They do it on a rotating basis. Unless you specifically book Chess TV time, they rotate what streamers in their program they give the embeds to, which is actually very neat. I like it a lot. Okay, I'll give you this one. You gotta. You oughta. Okay, a5 is stupid. There are a lot of positions where, like, here, the best move is, like, a5 or something. It's not here, but... yeah, pretty much. Castling is very good. And so, yes, you are under attack in this position. However, I'm also under attack, and as white, your attack's faster. Well, I reported him and told everything chess.com. I mean, that's the safest option if you ask me. Again, rational minds may differ. Not evil for doing something else, but just... Later, Tato. Knight takes, king c8. And see, like, taking this pawn, for example. So, the beautiful thing about Chess960, and the reason it's such a popular variant, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get banned for that kind of, like, you're not going to get banned for beating him once or twice and then reporting it once you realized how suspicious it was. Like, come on. At the end of the day, unless you get, like, auto flagged and it's very obvious you're cheating, this is reviewed by humans. That really doesn't seem to me like something you would get banned for, like, especially if it's like the only time it happens. If like every 3 days you find someone accidentally who's sandbagging and then report them after 2 wins, then like, okay, but so like here, the beautiful thing about Chess960 starting positions is that principles still apply. You still need to develop, you still need to grab the center. So something like this makes a lot more sense. In this move, you're taking a piece that's already very good and you're making it a little bit in danger, when you could be just opening your queen and capturing the center. Because now if I play f5, you can think about e5, and now my most important piece is blunted. And that's pretty bad for me. And yes, you are under attack as well, but your attack's way faster. That's the thing, that's something that I learned from my analysis of Chess960 starting positions, is that a lot of the time when there's these positions where fast attacks happen, it benefits white because white's fast attacks are faster. And that one tempo is a lot more important in a fast position than it is in a slow position. So in positions like this that are very clearly fast, you can it's pretty easy to know that white has the advantage. Or a pretty noticeable advantage because his attacks just happen. And see, what happens here is you inadvertently do the opposite. You block in your own bishop, and so your rooks are still not doing anything. Castling is a very good defensive move, but the rook on b8 is very strong, especially since you opened it by taking this pawn. Really? Knight a2. Ah, that makes total sense. And then f5. And now this is looking real bad. Yeah, this makes more sense. Beautiful piece sack. And so you end up blocking in your own pieces, and then once again, instead of playing actively, you play passively. Blocking my bishop like this solves a lot of your problems. And my position gets way harder to play. Ooh. Oh yeah, so you're making your branding consistent. Good stuff. And then here, it's just, you're already in a really rough position. You take the bishop, I go knight check, and then knight takes check, and it's hard. You take the knight, which is what you did, and I go... I should have gone queen f6, but I was a coward. That's actually a good question. e5 is brilliant. I'm so glad e5 was a good move. It looked fantastic. And then d3, I just go e4. Queen c3 is faster, but... That makes sense. I think you're limited to one change. You need to, like, contact support for another change. You probably could have contacted support and made another change, especially if it was years and years ago. I think that's a thing. It's been a while since I read the terms of service. I like local Cooper, not Cooper. Why am I saying Cooper? Local Koopa, not better. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it's not a human there. Either way, making an alternate account is not a terrible idea. I don't remember. It's been a while since I checked. Okay. Sorry it took so long, King. Just a lot of analyzing this position. Okay. Is there anyone else in queue? Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. My initials backwards are Jay-Z, but the problem is when I say Jay-Z, I automatically think of the rapper Jay-Z. Yeah, no, you've... Oh, this is just normal chess. Good stream, Malcolm. I really enjoyed it. Have a good night. You as well. Yeah, being associated with Jay-Z isn't the worst thing in the world, unless you just don't want to be. And it's difficult, because you'll be like, oh, my initials are Jay-Z. You'll have to explain it to everybody, so it makes sense. I get it. I get it. I love Jay-Z's music, but I want to be unique. Fair enough. I've only listened through one full Jay-Z album, and even then, it's like only kind of a Jay-Z album. So, and that's the Danger Mouse one, the Gray album, right? Which is the Danger Mouse album where he takes the Black album from Jay-Z and mixes it with the Beatles' White album. Super fun. Love that album. Mouse slip. Yeah, and termination is an inside joke with my friends because I'm completely unemotional when playing against them in tournaments. Yes. Wait, he didn't take it? Really? Really? How do I... Okay, now I want to take advantage of this. Hold on a second. He let me cook. Mouse slip gamut, just hang upon and they'll believe you. I mean, he believed me. It was a bluff, but, I mean, evidently I'm very convincing. You know how to be unique? Making your name toaster related. At least that's what I thought until I realized there are like 20 other toasters. There's a lot of toasters. Toasters are very popular. Hey, if it works, it works. He bought it, right? That's what matters. Oh. Oh, look at this position, guys. Look at this position. Oh no, my pawn! But I'm not lying. Literally. I mean, I will take it. Very good for me. This is just very good for me. These are starting to resemble some very specific lines of the Catalan. And they're lines I very much like to play as white. Hello, Ethereal One. Thank you so much. Oh, that's you, Termination. So it's going to be difficult for me to call you Termination, because local is just what's going to be in my head. It's like how I call Callum Callum, even though he's changed his Switch name. Ooh, first time here? Well, welcome. I was trying to play Chess960, but then someone challenged me to a random normal game of chess, and it took me a few moves before I noticed, because, you know, technically, the normal chess starting position is a valid Chess960 position. Fun chess fact. And that's actually why Carlsen called his tournament Freestyle Chess and not Chess960, is because in his variant, in the one they did for his tournament, the normal chess starting position was taken out of the pool. So it technically wasn't Chess960, it was Chess958. Yeah, exactly, Lib. Chess960 has a branding issue. Wasn't cute to call me that. It really seemed like one. You gotta take the chess personality quiz. It's new. I just did. I got... Okay, wait. I just did, and I know my result, but I want you to guess it. It's more fun that way. Talk to me. It's funny. Bobby Fischer popularized Fischer Random, which is why it's called Fischer Random. But then when chess.com and other websites started implementing it, they didn't want to be associated with Fischer because he's not very brand friendly. So they switched to the Chess960 because there's 960 starting positions and that sounds cool. Makes sense. But then when Carlsen did his, he didn't want to call Chess960 because he took the starting positions out of the rating, out of the game pool, and so it wasn't 960 positions anymore. So you couldn't really call it Chess960. So he called it Freestyle Chess. And now it's just a whole mess. Caveman? I'm not the caveman. How long have you played chess? Oh, a while now. First tournament was in 2018, so that's 6 years ago. So 6-7 years. Now, given my chess journey has been a very smell the roses one. You know, I've taken things very slow. Just started last November. Ooh. What brought you to our most noble of games? I am not a caveman. Come on, you know me, local. How old were you in 2018? Well, if I'm 22 now, maths, I was 16. When I played years ago, I was 200 rated and made completely random moves. Hey, no shame in that. Come on, local, you know me. You should know what my chess personality is. It's very obvious. It fits perfectly. Dragon. There isn't a dragon. Wait, is there a dragon? Swindler? I'm not a swindler. Now I'm really trying to improve. I'm almost 1K now. Hey, huge improvement. Last November, 1K. How have you been improving up until this point? Richard Rapport. True. What's been your method for improving up until now? What time does the thing tomorrow start? 10. So I was thinking of leaving the house at 9. Longer games and I watch obscene amount of chess content. Is it just Gotham chess or like tournaments? Don't mean to grill you, it's just I find this stuff interesting. Watch Danya. Yeah, Danya might be a little above his head. Because Danya's hard for me to watch. But Danya's amazing. If you can stomach it. Because he does an amazing job talking about all this stuff. So up 8:30? Yeah. That's the plan. Danya's fantastic. Is there a queue? Yes, sir. Exclam join. Watching Danya's like studying master game, but in a YouTube video? Absolutely. Todd, thanks so much for the follow. I'm not accepting a draw. A little later, I'll accept a draw. Unironically go to improve it? Absolutely. Also, how's your day been? It's been pretty good. It's been pretty relaxing. Which is nice, because I have exams coming up pretty soon. So I need it. Good night. Speaking of which, what time is it? It's 10:47. Okay, so I'm closing the queue. Everyone already in the queue will still get your game, just no one else will be able to join the queue. Yeah. He gives you advice on how to think. Like, advice he gives when calculating classical is to create a grocery list of what you like from the position. For example, find a way to develop my light square bishop that is blocked by my pawns. No, again, Danya is fantastic for improvement. Because he thinks like a super GM, because he is one. And so he tries to tell you how to think like a super GM. You can't ask for better. You in college? I am in college. I am studying economics. Because the world's pretty turbulent, but everyone will always need an accountant. GG's. Let's see what happens. Pretty roller coaster game. It's getting pretty late, so my chest is getting worse. Okay, so I want you to know this was a mouse slip and not like some goofy gambit. It was a bluff. Because it was completely unintentional. What was your biggest breakthrough during early days learning chess? I had multiple. So like the first one was Silman's complete endgame course. Not complete endgame. Silman's complete guide to chess strategy, which is a book that I got and really helped me improve. I remember what happened was in late 2017, actually it started in 2016, during the 2016 US Chess Championships. I watched and I got inspired. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And so I spent through late 2016, 2017, I studied and practiced. And then in 2018, I played my first tournament and got an ELO of like 1300 FIDE. I was very proud of it. And so a lot of that was watching chess tournaments, like long form, like the entire classical tournaments with commentary. And then Silman's complete guide to chess strategy. Absolutely, I will. Yeah, Danya's completely insane. He's one of the best speed chess players on the planet. Yeah, one of the best speed chess players on the planet. Like again, he started 10 seconds down on the clock. Gosh. Bye. Every chess player's nightmare is getting into a time scramble against Danya. I'm telling you, even Hikaru like wakes up in a cold sweat. Will I get banned, do you reckon, if I say it in the chat? What? I don't know. A little bit sussy. Awesome, thank you for sharing. No problem. And again, if you have any questions, ask. I don't... Obviously, the phrase, there's no such thing as a stupid question, is wrong. However, I would say there's no such thing as a pointless, sincere question, which is such a specific rewording that it probably makes the entire phrase pointless. However, I don't care. Nice. Cook, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, it's XAROTIC. Is it Zarotic? Kate, talk to me. My biggest struggle, I think, right now is... Yeah, Zar. Okay, got it. Easy for me to remember. It's missing tactics in the middle game. Even some really basic ones that are only 1-2 moves. I better dox myself. Well, I already know that... do we know that you live in Rio? Or that you live close enough to Rio to go to a tournament there? I don't remember. Hey, congratulations! Congratulations, that's huge! So wait, what did you qualify for? The World Chess Championships? Is that meant to be chess, or did you... Were you trying to type someone else? World School? I'm looking at my keyboard trying to see what letters are close to all the letters in that word. Scholar. Okay, gotcha. Do you mean scholastic? I think you mean scholastic. Because scholar is like someone who studies a field like expert. Missing tactics in the middle game is hard, and you already know to practice tactics. That's a normal thing. What I focus on telling people and helping people with is always more so in the direction of like positional chess and trying to get a feel for how the position works, because that also, in my experience, makes tactics easier because you kind of know what to look for, and tactics just kind of appear, you know? Tactics appear out of good positional chess, like magic. Yeah. That's super cool. Congratulations. Yeah. Local's right. I'm by far better at tactics than positional chess. Yeah, because it's very difficult to learn positional chess online. I usually get focused on some random idea. Then I'm so laser focused I missed everything else happen. That makes sense. Yep. That clip isn't titled Tuesday because no increment. Yeah. Again, every chess player I can think of will wake up in a cold sweat thinking about playing Danya in bullet or anything bullet adjacent. Especially no increment. It's anti-tactic or making moves that don't give my opponent a tactic. Again, while you can brute force calculate everything out to see that there's no tactic, and you should in some positions, a lot of the time it's just as simple as playing moves that don't create weaknesses positionally, you know? Because like, a very simple example. If you play, again, this is a little bit under y'all's level, right? But I'm making a point here where I'm saying, like, if your opponent is playing actively and developing and you're just moving back and forth, you're letting your opponent develop for free. And so in this position, there are going to be tactics. It's going to happen. For example, this works now. The tactics come from the fact that your opponent is much better developed than you are. And which is a positional chess concept, right? Development, initiative, activity, that whole stuff. So, because by getting at a positional disadvantage, tactics start appearing. They don't come out of nowhere. I played FM James Canteen Bull, and those games have my heart racing. I can't imagine what it would be like to play Danya. I just can't. Very well said. I had not thought of it like that. Yeah, no, it's not just you, right? Gary Kasparov noticed and talked about, no problem. Gary Kasparov talks about how the journey of individual chess players follows closely the journey of chess as a whole sport, like chess thought itself. And the thing is, that whole concept of tactics arising out of positional play is something that took like 300 years for people to come up with, right? You might have heard of Paul Morphy, especially if you watch a lot of chess content. Paul Morphy is a name that pops up often. Paul Morphy was the first one to figure that out, and that's how he took over the chess world, because everyone else was just playing for tactics, and he was like, hold on a second, I play good positional chess, then the tactics will exist, and I can beat him on tactics anyway. And so it was like magic. Suddenly he would be winning, and everyone's like, how he's just a genius calculating. He can calculate tactics better than anyone else in the world, which he probably could, but also you can't calculate tactics that aren't there. Oh yeah, I'll go use OBS Studio to stream, right? Yes, I do. Again, that's what Morphy figured out. And then when Morphy quit chess, everyone else was like, what just happened? And that's when Steinitz came around, studied the games of Morphy, and figured it out again, like re-breakthrough. And the thing is, unlike Morphy, Steinitz wrote it down, which is how we got positional chess. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Chess thought was completely different. It was completely different. And so Morphy figured it out first, but he didn't like talk about it, he just did it. And then Steinitz figured it out and then wrote it down and shared it and tried to spread it, which unfortunately he was really underappreciated in his time. It's really a tragedy. But it like was so influential and started positional chess. I also think it's a game of luck based on my blitz games. Definitely. Danya's just very lucky. Do you give coaching? I've considered it, but I've never actually started it. Why do you ask? Every picture of Paul Morphy makes me think he was the type of kid to sit back in the classes, talk to nobody, and write poems. Close. He was studying to be a lawyer. That's why he played chess, is because when he graduated, he was like 20, and you need to be like 23 to become a lawyer in Louisiana back then, or something like that. Gotta go. Glad I hopped in here. Have a great rest of stream and weekend. Thank you very much. Just seemed like you know what to do and how to improve very well. I know how to get to 2200. That's what I've done. I haven't gotten any higher, so I can't tell you how to get any higher. If you're lower than 2000, I'm sure I can help. If you're lower than 1500, I'm absolutely sure I can help. But once you get above 2000, I'm a sparring partner, but can't pretend. And I mean, I'm okay with like tournament psychology as well. I've had a lot of experience there, but I think the concept of free will is slightly more complicated than that, Moss, which is part of the debate itself. That's what I mean. You make your own luck. Gotten to 1500 by my own stupidity. Well, if you got to 1500, it wasn't stupidity. Alco, can you give advice to Ding Liren? Of course I can. I'm Richard Rapport, literally. And I'm his second, right? I helped him. Yeah, no. Of course. Again, because this isn't what to do when you're lucky. This is how to be lucky. It's the positional chess thing. It's how to make tactics. Flagging basics. Again, it's not luck because it feels like luck. Only because it's invisible. Which is what makes it so hard to figure it out yourself. Right? That's why you study master games. And play with people stronger than you. Because they figured out something that you haven't. And it's very hard to figure it out and be the first. That's why it took 300 years to figure out what positional chess was. But now I can learn it in a year. You know what I mean? Times grounds pre-moving after giving checks. It's just how to become a swindler. It doesn't matter. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. It's just for a different skill set in chess. Same for like tournament psychology with like how to not tilt. What is this? Oh, well, hold on a second. You said it was in general on my Discord? Oh yeah, I forgot about this. You did mention it. Yeah. I actually looked this position. I was like, oh, I have to sit down and look at this more later. And then I forgot to look at it more later. Okay, wait, let me set up the board real quick. I'll do this and then I'll go to bed because I have a tournament tomorrow. Funny story. I mean, you also have examples of the similar thing, Moss, with like the wording specifically being God hardening the heart of Pharaoh, right? So I agree with you, obviously, but just saying. What tournament? Just a rapid tournament in a neighboring city. It's a less formal thing. It's going to be like 18, 20 people. But there's also going to be a couple very strong players, which is why I like going. Also, they're a bunch of friends. Yeah, I like the new color better. I know a bunch of the guys there. A lot of them are quite a bit better than I am. Okay, so let me just set this up real quick. Any title players? Yeah, one, and I am. Although he's also the TO. Like I said, it's more casual. It's not rated. So sometimes he doesn't play as seriously if there's a lot of people and he needs to organize. He'll still play, but he'll like offer draws really quick, that sort of thing, you know. But there's definitely plenty of players for me to really dig my teeth into. That is not going to be the problem. I am. Yes. I am. I'm Richard Rapport. We've established this before. Hey, that rhymed. Okay, just give me 1 second. Setting up this board. Okay. this looks right. This is not an opening. I'm just setting up the board. Oh yeah, no. I brought up Pharaoh as another example of what you're talking about because it's the one I remember off the top of my head. Because while I know the basics of that topic, it's not one that I've studied in depth yet. And so the Pharaoh example is the only one that I remember as being specifically definitive. Yeah, it looks like it actually looks more like an Italian. You know, c3 has been played, this bishop's on this diagonal. It looks more like an Italian than a Rui. Especially with like a4 being played. Isn't a4, a5 like an Italian plan as well? Brilliant move. Without a doubt. Okay, because you never figured it out, I got artist. Okay, so in this position, it is black to move. Okay. I'm turning off the evaluation in the lines. So, I'll read this out loud because you posted it publicly in my Discord, so it's obviously you don't probably be reading it. In this position, it was black to move, and I saw my rook was being attacked. My option was either to go rook e7, or I'm assuming you mean rook d7, or rook e8. I calculated checks, captures, and attacks for both. Is that a compliment or an insult? That's true, but again, I'm pretty sure this looks like an Italian. Anyway. I played rook e7 because I thought it would be great to have rooks connected on the 7th rank. This was a blunder because my opponent played the backwards bishop move, bishop c2, and my knight is nearly trapped. Any option I have kind of really is terrible with incoming b4. So what he's saying is he played rook d7 and then bishop c2 hurt because b4 is coming and there's not a good way to stop it. You can take it either way, fair enough. So, what do you think should have been my thought process to avoid this type of blunder that involves moves from my opponent that are more quiet and aren't checks, captures, or attacks? Okay. Let's think. Sorry, I messed something up. The rook was actually on a7, not on a8. That's an important difference. Did I mess anything else up? No, that looks right. Yeah, the rook was on a7 here, not a8. And this pawn was on h6. Okay. Yeah. This pawn was on h6. Yeah, this is better. Just wanted to give you fodder for down the road. You'll run it to a never-ending line of free will people. Your next exam will be Monday or Wednesday. Exam? Oh, okay. So, I see now you've given up on just having me train myself, so you decided to train me. It's pretty funny. Bishop c2 is a great move that I didn't see. Quietly moves out of the way for the b pawn to advance. So, you played rook to d7. Because you wanted your rooks to be doubled on the 7th rank? Is that your logic? Okay, so this might not be exactly what you're asking for, but first things first. I don't think there's a good argument for rook d7 in this position, even if we ignore bishop c2. Your rooks aren't connected. And unless you're planning on playing c6, they won't be for a long while. And c6 looks not good. Like at all. Because then they take, and now you've opened their bishop. And this is a huge hole in your position that's very easily filled by the knight. Right? So your rooks aren't connected in this position. Connected would be if the pawn's out of the way. And if the bishop's out of the way too, if we're being honest. So that's my first problem, is your rooks aren't connected. And the way you would get them connected, c6, doesn't look fantastic in this position. Honestly, the rook on a7 is just miserable to begin with. I really just don't like this piece. That's my first thing. My second thing is from a plan finding perspective. If we like board flip for a second, and let's say we're playing white and you play even rook e8. Yeah. Let's say you even play rook e8. If I'm white and I look at this position, let me think. Okay, what's going on? This pawn is hanging. I have to defend that. Additionally, what's my weakest piece and what's my opponent's strongest piece? My weakest piece as white is either one of my rooks or something, but that's neither here nor there, or this bishop. This bishop's doing nothing. It's doing nothing at all. It's looking at a pawn that's completely well defended. Additionally, black's only good piece is this knight. This knight's fine, but it's not fantastic. This knight is fantastic. This is a wonderful piece. And so if I'm white, I'm thinking, let's get rid of this knight, because then black has no pieces. Like, if you goof off here and then have to play knight d7, you don't have any pieces. This is miserable. Even if white doesn't have a way to break through, which is possible, it's miserable. All of your pieces are backwards, and you're so tangled up in your lack of space. It hurts. Right? So, additionally, why this, and that relates to the fact that this square, while it's very strong, it only looks like a hole. It's not actually a hole, because your opponent has a pawn on one of the two flanks, right? The definition of a hole is if this pawn were here, not here, if this pawn were, I don't know, here, or here, or here, or something. Somewhere where it can't attack this square, even like here. Right? The hole is when there's no pawn on either side that can attack the knight. So this knight isn't in a hole. It's in a very good position, but this isn't a 5-star luxury hotel. This is a 5-star luxury hotel on the side of a cliff known for mudslides, right? It's a great place. You want to be there, but like, you always like peek over the balcony every few minutes because you don't want to be there when it crumbles down. This is a very good place for the knight, but it's not one where that's not a permanent one because there's a pawn on one of the sides. This is not a set it and forget it piece, right? If this pawn were here and this knight were here, then we'd be having a different conversation. It's the same with this knight. Same picture. This knight is not a set and forget it piece because you could play king h7 g6, right? Which might even be a reasonable plan. Yeah, absolutely. When you're trying to figure out what they want to play, especially in long time controls, when you're figuring out what plan they're going for as well, and trying to preempt their moves. But again, it's the same applies to your opponent. This knight isn't on a hole. This knight is in a very good position, but not a permanent one. You can consider, I mean, it's not great right now, but like, you could consider going king h7, and then if like white goofs off, then, not here I suppose, but like, if white goofs off, then you could consider playing like a g6 or something. And then like bring the knight here and play f5 and really try to break through on the king side. Because then we play f5, this pawn's undermined, which strengthens your bishop. It's a whole thing. You could get like the rook behind it. Yeah. So it's the same thing, the same applies in reverse. Your opponent's knight on f5, while very strong and actually even harder to get rid of than your knight here, is not permanent. It can be kicked. And so you kind of have to be ready for it to be kicked. Same with this knight. Additionally, like I said, this rook is not connected. These two aren't connected. Heck, if we go into this position, these rooks aren't connected. Rooks are connected and there's nothing else on their file. So seeking the connected rooks is good when they're connected. Again, if your plan was c6, that would make some sort of sense, but c6 is very difficult for me to think about here. There's just so many things in the position that make c6 a little hard to stomach. Like here, I might not even go bishop c2, I might go like bishop a2. And that's excellent. Yes. That's number one. Number two, you have to also think about what the rook is doing. What's the rook on d7 doing? Again, are you planning on playing c6? That's the only time when this rook makes sense here, is if you're planning on playing c6, so you over-defend the pawn, right? Otherwise, it should not be on c6. It should be on e8. That way it can pivot to whatever side of the board it needs to do something on. The rook is significantly less flexible on d7 than it is on e8. It's doing one thing. And now that one thing is the most important thing in the position. Fair enough. But it's not obvious to me that this is what you want to do. Like, even if he doesn't play bishop c2 here, even if he plays, like, I don't know, bishop a2, it's... like, I'm looking at this and I'm just deeply uncomfortable. Maybe it's fine, but just... Yeah, maybe it's fine because you have enough pressure against this pawn, but it just doesn't. Like, even something stupid like this, to bring the rook here, might not even be a good move, but... because pushing drops this pawn. So again, rooks being connected is fine, but it's more important that they're doing something. I thought about c6 as my plan, and I thought about how their b3 bishop opened up. But I thought I could trade knight takes b3 and get rid of their best piece for my best piece. Okay. So your thought process is, I'm white here. I don't know what I'm playing in this position. I don't know this. Whatever. And you're thinking knight takes. And then you go c6. Anyone catch the new Doctor Who? Someone mentioned it last time. It might have been you again, but... See, that's like, if you pardon the little bit, not rude, but harsh way of putting it, that's like a very advanced version of the 200 going, okay, I'm going to play e4, queen g4, no, sorry, queen g4, queen h5, bishop f4, and checkmate him, right? It's like, okay, yeah, that's a good plan and all, but they won't let you do it. You know, like, okay, it's a reasonable plan and all to take here and then go c6, but what makes you think that they're going to let you do it? Even if I have to play something like bishop a2, like, even if I go here, even if you like move the rook and I go bishop a2, right? Pretending you can't take this pawn. Because the bishop on a2 is still good. Still, this is the more important diagonal. It was a little hope chess. And so, this is the problem with hope chess isn't to have those sorts of plans. The problem is when they take precedence over more important plans. The problem with the 700 going queen h5, bishop c4 isn't that they want to checkmate their opponent. The problem is that that want to checkmate their opponent is overriding the chess principle of not bringing out the queen early, right? So your problem isn't that you want to take this and that you're trying to take this and you're hoping that they let you take this. The problem is you use that hope to help you play a move which is just not as good in every other situation, right? Again, blocking in your own knight is something you have to consider, especially when your opponent has this much more space and when your knight isn't in like a hold, it's in a very iffy position. Again, your opponent has to think about the same thing. Like a rook e3, they have to worry about g6 at some point. King h7, g6. But, so I would say that's the issue. You let hope chess decide to override a principle. Unless it's extremely concrete and forcing, principles should take precedence over dreams. That would be my thought process. And again, in general, I would say it's somewhat easy to find bishop c2 because this pawn needs to be guarded by something, right? And the bishop is the most natural choice since the bishop's not doing anything. And also it gets out of the way of b4. So I would say it's not the hardest move in the world, but that aside, just this rook is strictly less flexible than this rook. And for what reason? What do you get out of rook d7? What does rook d7 give you that rook e8 doesn't? Again, the rooks aren't connected, and even if they were, do you really want to be connected on the 7th rank? You want to be connected on your opponent's 2nd rank. Being connected on your own 7th rank is fine, but like, it's not inherently better. The reason doubling on the 2nd is so good is because you overwhelm these pawns, and you can like capture them because they are often not super well defended, right? On your own 7th rank, like, you're really well defending f7, but like that's not super important in most positions. Yeah. Check capture attack. Yeah. It's a tier below that. It's a threat. It threatens b4, which is a meaningful threat. But again, doubling on the 7th is not that amazing of a thing. Like, even if we get rid of this pawn, for the sake of argument, we put it, I don't know, here. Then, even then, why is doubling on the 7th rank important? On the 2nd, it's because you can overwhelm the pawns, but you're not overwhelming your own pawns, right? You're over defending f2, f7, sorry, which is fine, but like, again, it only makes sense of c6. To want to over defend with both rooks. So rook d7, bishop c2, and then it was just bad. My argument was doubling on the 7th was that saved tempo when my rook's being weirdly placed in a7. But I could adjust my rook by being misplaced on a7 by the plan by saving a tempo. I would go the opposite way. I would say you're wasting a tempo, because the saving of a tempo is if your rook's on e8, then in some dream future, your rook's double, right? Okay, got you. The dream save a tempo is your rook's already on the 7th, so bring it over to double. Again, this saves a tempo if it's the goal, but I don't understand why it's the goal. Doubling on a file is something that makes more sense to me, intuitively. Like doubling on the D file at some points, or the C file, or whatever. Or heck, even the F file. Like I'm saying, something like this is not the worst plan of all time. It's really weird, but like there is a future I can like feel where you go like bishop c8 and then king h7 and then like I don't even know where this knight goes, knight h5, g6, f5, and like try to throw your pawns at him, because technically this is where your pawns point, so theoretically this is where you should be playing. In which case you could sack a pawn to go c6 to bring the rook to g7 or something, you know? In which case you want one rook on the 8th, one rook on the 7th. That way they don't conflict with each other when they're trying to grab these files. So even then, I would prefer to have the rook on the 8th rank. Now, again, I'm not sure if this is the correct plan. I know what it is, but I haven't watched any of it. Because honestly, it doesn't interest me very much. Especially what I've heard about it. I don't find crass funny. Crass, or funny because crass funny. So, why do we not me more Ruy Lopez during higher play? Because people want to get out of theory if they want to play a game of chess. Ruy has very deep and well-established theory. Yeah, my plan tries to justify my rook being on a7 way more and better. Yeah, that plan tries to justify my rook being on a7 way more and better. It's exactly my point. And even if you're not trying to justify it, right? Playing around it's also just as good as justifying, because this is a poor piece. So even if you admit defeat and play rook a8, like, okay. Again, these are the two pawn pushes that you are considering in the position because they're the only two you have. All right, these are the only two pawn pushes you have. And so this one looks infinitely more appealing to me than this one. Which makes me think, and then rook e8 is flexible. So I mean, that would be my point. And again, another reason rook d7 is not as good is because bishop c8, which might be a move at some point, this blocks your own bishop. Because this bishop's doing nothing unless you're playing c6. There's a lot of unless you're playing c6. So if you're not playing c6, then bishop c8 is a move at some point. In which case, you're blocking your own bishop long term. It's a very subtle thing. It probably won't be important, but you know, might as well mention it while we're here. Rook e8, bishop c8 is a lot more natural because it's not being blocked by anything. Funny story, something like this, you're almost immediately threatening like knight takes e4. Like if b4 in the position, you can probably take that. I don't know if you can actually fully get away with this, but I mean, there's a lot worse things. Again, I'm not even saying bishop c8 is the best or even a good move here. I don't know, but it's a move. Could white just desperado knight takes g6 maybe? I don't know. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure. Knight takes g6. I can probably play knight takes c3 though. Can I not? I can match your desperado. Now maybe this is me tempting the hands of fate a little, but yeah, literally. Desperado, the desperado, desperado. Again, I don't know if this works. Just saying it's something to consider. Yeah, it looks complicated. Definitely be thinking 10, 15, 20 plus minutes if this was in classical. Again, bishop c8 might be a terrible move. I don't know. But it's an idea. It's something that like flows naturally from what the position's demanding. I don't watch anime really. White knight from f3 to d4. f3, d4. Here? Can I take that? That's what everyone... I cannot tell you how many times someone said, do you watch this anime? I say, no, don't watch anime. And they're like, neither do I, but this one... Just do a VR chat game? Why? I don't own a VR headset. They're expensive. I live in Eastern Europe, my guy. I can't afford that. I'm a college student in Eastern Europe. Yeah, again, this is ridiculously complicated. I have no clue what's going on here. None. But it's interesting. Turn on the engine. Boo, 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 no engine. I want to learn. I want to figure it out. This is way more fun. Or again, maybe even it takes up 2 or something stupid like that. Yeah, you see my point. It's interesting. There's something to think about. Again, you could always just do this. I'm not saying you should, but you could. And then the knight goes to f8. Which, to be fair, is actually not as bad as it looks. I'm not going to say the knight on f8 is good, because it's not, but it's not as bad as it looks. What bishop takes e4 first? If we're looking at knight takes g7, knight takes g7, bishop takes, knight. Bishop takes, knight takes, then knight takes g7. Well, I mean the same thing. I just take on c3. I think it's the same picture. How does knight f8 look bad? Because it looks really passive on the 8th rank. You know, knights on the rim are grim and all that. It could look passive, which it is, but it's not that bad. Because the point here is if he takes with rook, the knight's hanging. That's the tactic. Is that at any point, whenever he takes with rook, the knight suddenly is hanging on f5. And if you get this position, you're chilling. Because suddenly you're up a pawn, and you've got the better minor piece. What more could you ask for? Now, this is never going to happen, of course, but... So, there's things. There's things. The position, again, bishop c8 might be a horrible move in this position. I really don't know. But... it's an option. Again, maybe you should be playing king h7, and then, like, knight d7, and then going for g3, f4 immediately, and something, I don't know. Yeah, like vote chess. The problem is I don't have that many viewers. I don't know much. So that's my point, is rook d7, unless you're specifically playing c6, it contradicts everything in the position. It blocks your most natural escape squares for your knights, it blocks your bishop's diagonal, it makes your rooks kind of play against each other. It makes the rook significantly less flexible. So even if this tactic didn't exist, it would be a bad move, right? This is just a very convenient way for white to punish you for it. Again, like if I turn... Okay, I'm turning on the evaluation now because I have to go to bed after this, so just... it's final hoorah. Bishop c2, bishop c8. It's saying bishop c8 is the best move. I'm a genius. I am a genius. And then it's not even recommending b4. It's saying knight g3 to over-defend the pawn. And to get the knight out of the way to avoid the tactic. It's saying knight g3 here for white. I'm a genius. I thought it was a small difference between rook e7 and rook e8, but big difference indeed. Yeah, it looks like a smaller difference than it is. It really does. Very deceptive. I'm explaining it easily now because I have the benefit of hindsight. It's a lot harder in the moment. But again, literally the computer is saying to play knight g3. And it's saying that's the best move by a long shot. Which is hilarious. And then here, knight c takes e4, it does work. It's triple zeros. Benefit of hindsight is strong. It's actually saying knight takes h6. And then bishop takes. But this isn't even bad. You play f5 anyway. And see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. The computer's obviously being the computer, but it's playing with the position. f5 makes perfect sense. It's the most rational move in the position. It's really hard to play as a human because you feel like you shouldn't play it. But it makes perfect sense. I'm telling you, the f5 is the plan. I'm so proud of myself. I called all of this. I called the entire thing. So yeah. Versus in this position, bishop c8, b4 might not even be the best move. It's saying knight a4 here, but then on like knight b7, and suddenly this is way different. This is huge. This is like such a big difference. This is like +3, which makes sense. This position's depressing. And like I said, your rooks aren't even connected. So any tactics are instantly kind of bad. Oh, disgusting. Look at the streaming. Does Twitch care harshly about copyright music? Like, can I play Daft Punk? In my experience, smaller streamers are absolutely able to get away with it. Would I recommend doing it? No. However, in my experience, smaller streamers 100% get away with it. Okay, now let me rate somebody. Because that's all, folks. We'll rate Thinker Teacher. I love rating Thinker Teacher. It's just so easy. It's so easy. Epic stream. Thank you. Even a 1,000 viewer output can get away with it. Just choose not to. I probably can. But I don't want to. I don't like it. Have a very strict Sense of internet ethics. Probably too strict. Anyway. Have an excellent night. I gotta go to bed because I got a tournament tomorrow. Hold it. What? You got like 56 seconds. Where's the philosophical section of the stream? I was talking about free will a little bit with a fellow earlier. It was only for a brief moment, but there was some free will discussion there. Oh no, we got relatively not distracted tonight. Anyway, good night. Wasn't here for it. Do the stream over? No. Boom. Roasted.